Hey guys, so today I'm excited to do a first look of the newly released Polar flagship watch, the Polar Vantage V2. Alright, so this is the Polar Vantage V2. This watch was provided to me by Polar, but we had no prior agreement whether I should do a positive and negative review. It's my own thoughts on this product. And then we'll get a chance to review this video before it goes live on YouTube. I'll be watching it for the first time, just like you guys are. So let's talk about this watch. This watch is the flagship Polar watch, and because it is a flagship watch, it comes with a hefty price tag, and that price tag is $499.95. That's with the watch alone. If you want the chest heart rate monitor with it, which is going to be the H10, it's going to be $549.95. So like I said, this is a flagship watch, so it comes with a flagship price, and with that flagship price you get everything that Polar has to offer plus a few more things just for this watch. So first off, let's take a look at this watch. This is the green colorway that it comes with. I actually did like this colorway, so I was happy that they did send me this over. They also have a black variant and they also have a gray line variant, and they're also selling a bunch of different straps along with it, so you can customize it to whatever color you want to. So let's take a look at the watch. This watch does look very familiar. This watch pretty much is the Polar Vantage V. They didn't change anything about the looks of it. Same buttons, same glass, same screen. It's the 1.2-inch screen with the pretty big bezel. So the physical part is pretty much the same. It does weigh a little bit lighter at 52 grams compared to 66 grams. But other than that, this is pretty much the same looking watch as the Polar Vantage V. That being said, I do still like the watch. I think that it is a good looking watch on the wrist. You can see it right here. It looks good on my wrist. Low profile. Like I said, it's 52 grams, so it pretty much weighs nothing. The strap is comfortable. I've been wearing this for the last couple of days. I only got this last Saturday, so I've been wearing it every day trying to test it out for you guys, and I have to say it's very comfortable. You just slip it in right there at the end, and then it is a pretty tight fit because once it is on, you're not going to be able to take it off easily. It's kind of a hard thing to take off because it does have a bunch of secure latches on it. As you can see right there, it has that little bump, and that bump will go into the hole, and of course that's going to keep it on your wrist. But you're not here for how it looks like. You want to know all the new features, so let's go ahead and start off with that. We'll talk about all the new features. Like I said, if you want to see all the other features that it has all the other features that Grid X introduced you to. It has the hydration on it, so if you look on this screen right here, you'll see that it has the fueling on there. So the fueling will basically give you reminders on how much carbs and how much drink you can take. You know, when I was doing an ultra marathon with Tony and I was pacing him, I would remind him every 30 minutes to 45 minutes to take a drink of his water, take a drink of his Gatorade or whatever, and basically this watch will do that for you. It also has Hill Splitter. Hill Splitter will tell you how well you're running hills. Over here in Southeast Texas where I live, not many hills to deal with, so that's not a big feature that I'm looking for, but it has it if I do need it. It has Strava live segments, so basically whenever you're on a run and you hit a segment, it'll tell you you're on it, and it will tell you to go faster, so you could beat that segment time and be king of the mountain or whatever they call it on Strava. But yeah, it has everything. But the new features that it does have is basically it has a running cycling lab on your wrist. So Polar is really trying to make their watch the ultimate watch for runners and cyclists in terms of performance and in terms of recovery because of this testing that it has. It'll give you a test to test your cycling and running, and it'll give you personalized heart rate, speed, and power zones. So the way that you access that is by going over here. So by pressing this left bottom button, you'll go to this menu and you'll go down past Strava segments, past fueling, and into the test mode. So you enter that test mode, and there are many different tests. You can see there's orthostatic test, leg recovery test, cycling test, running test, and the fitness test. So for the orthostatic test, this is a test that you'll need to take in the morning. You will need a chest heart rate monitor So basically what you'll do is lie down and it'll measure your heart rate while you're lying down. And then after that, you'll stand up and then it'll measure your heart rate when you're standing up. So that's gonna be your orthostatic heart rate. And that's basically gonna tell you how well recovered you are. This is all part of recovery. This is one of those tests that you can do with this watch and a chest heart rate monitor that will tell you if you're recovered enough to work out. And you know it has FitSpark, so FitSpark will definitely give you a workout that you should be doing according to how well recovered you are. So the next thing that we have over here is the leg recovery test. So the leg recovery test is kind of a fun one. The way that you do it, what you do is stand up and put your hands on your waist, and then you'll hear a beep. And once you hear that beep, you'll squat down and then you'll jump up as high as you can and land stiff-legged. And then you stay there and then you'll hear another beep and you do it again. You'll do that 3 times, and basically what that's measuring is how high your jump. So that's measuring how powerful, how springy your legs are, and that's gonna also measure your rate of recovery. So if you're able to jump the same amount each time, like for me, my average right now, you can see right here, my latest results is about 10 inches. I'm jumping about 10 inches off the ground. So I did that today, and the last time I did it was also 10 inches. So it told me today that I'm recovered enough to do a run, but it also took into fact my sleep, which I haven't been sleeping well. So it told me just to do an easy run at zone 1 or zone 2. So that's pretty cool that it does take into factor everything that it measures to give you a workout that you should be doing. So next thing we have is cycling test. Cycling test, I'm not sure how it works, but I'm assuming it's the same way that the running test works. For the cycling test, you do need a power meter, which I don't have, so I couldn't do that. But for the running test, basically what you do, there are 2 different tests you can take. There's a sub-maximal test and there's a maximal test. The maximal test will take about 30 to 40 minutes, it says. So basically what you do is warm up for 10 minutes and then you start the test. And for me, it has it at right here. You can see it has it at the initial speed of 11 minutes per mile. So once I hit 11 minutes per mile, it'll start basically counting down. So it'll go from 11 minutes to 10:59, 10:58, 10:56, 10:54, and keep going lower and lower. And so I'll be speeding up gradually and increasing my heart rate gradually also. You'll do that for as long as you can keep up with it. So the pace will be getting faster and faster. And once you hit 85% of your max heart rate, and that's what I did, you could be done with a test, and they call that a sub-maximal test. So you could end the test right there or go on and do the maximal test, which like I said, will take you about 30 or 40 minutes. And I didn't have time for that. And I don't think that I was actually recovered enough to do the maximal test. So I just stopped at the sub-maximal test, and you can see right here that it'll tell me my latest results. So if I go to that, they'll say that my VO2 max is 48. My maximum heart rate was 159. All that, my power and everything. And then if you go on the app, it'll ask if you want to use those results to change your speed, your heart rate, and your power zone. So it'll be personalized zones according to what that test did. And it tells you to take that test pretty often. So you definitely want to keep on doing that. And I think that that's pretty cool, you know, having a personalized lab on your wrist that will give you personalized zones according to the test that you take that day. So that's one of the new features it has. It has all those tests and the personalized zones. All right, so the next thing that we have is music. It does not have storage for music. You cannot link it up to your Amazon or your Spotify, but you can control your music easier. Before, I think you kind of could have done it, but it was a little bit of a process, but now it's a lot easier. So what you do basically is swipe up one time and then it'll bring you to your music controls. So over here, you could play the music like that, pause it, fast forward it, you know, rewind it, you know, and then you could also control your volume up and down. So that's one of the new features, music control. I know it's not what a lot of people were expecting, but Polar is known for being more of a fitness watch than a smartwatch, so it won't have those smartwatch features like, you know, other watches have. But at least it has music controls. I do really wish that it did have music storage or some kind of music streaming service that it paired up with. And then the next thing that it has to do with Polar Flow. In Polar Flow, you could go to your testing hub and look at all your testing results and see how you're improving, how you're not improving, what you can change. So it has that testing hub in there where you can do some analysis of your test. I use it, I saw it, and you can definitely see what's going on, but maybe it'll change in the future. I kind of felt like it needed a little bit of work on the testing hub. Another new feature that it has is HRV data export. That's for the heart rate variability. You can export the data to something else. Maybe there's some kind of app that could use it. But yeah, it had that as a new feature. I'm not really sure what that is for. So another new feature that it has is weather. It has the weather, it has the forecast. So what you do to access that is basically go to your main screen and swipe a few times until you get to the weather screen. So right here, here's the weather screen. You can see right now it's 61 degrees. If you press on that, you will get more data. It's 61 degrees with a low of 59. It'll tell you if there's rain, the wind speed and direction, humidity, and then it'll give you a forecast. So right now it's telling me the forecast throughout the morning and into the day. And then it'll give me tomorrow's forecast all the way up until Fridays. So now your watch has weather on it. And you know what? Polar is adding a lot more smart features little by little. But right now, definitely more of a fitness watch. So basically this watch, the Polar V2, the main feature that it has that all the other watches don't have is that testing lab on the watch. It'll do an orthostatic test. It'll test your legs to see if they're tired, and it'll also give you personalized running and cycling zones according to your level of fitness. So that is a pretty cool thing. And like I said, Polar is known to be more of a fitness watch than a smartwatch. They didn't change a lot of other features. I do wish that they changed some things, but we'll talk about that in the review. So yeah, those are the new features that the Vantage V2 has. Basically, it has a running and cycling lab inside it that can measure your recovery and improve your performance, but it also has all those other features that Polar has. It has that 40-hour battery life with GPS and heart rate, the 100-hour battery life with the power saving mode, so you can run a super long ultra. It has FitSpark, it measures your sleep. Definitely one of the more powerful fitness watches out there. So I'm excited to review it. I'm excited to check out all the features, and I definitely will share it with you guys once I figure everything out and do a full review. All right guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace